they've agreed to just play on, I think, after like 10 seconds. The crowd singing along.
Is singing along to the
soundtrack is the one good thing Sonic R has given us, unfortunately. But
okay, so we're seeing actually some really great play coming up from BWC at the very beginning.
So that's one of the good things that Kirby has in their back air. While it's actually not that safe on hit, it does allow you to space fairly well, and that you're able to like fade out immediately after hit. So it's relatively safe on shield more than it is on hit, bizarrely. So you just need to be aware of spacing. You can't just rip off your normal punishes for unsafe aerials because you will just be able to fade away from them. You can't do that either because unfortunately Coolkingz is very good at setting up traps at the ledge. Stone is just... It's an okay move at just getting you down faster, but you have to be safe when you release it.
Yeah, 100%.
And that's why File Cutter doesn't feel good. You can just get punched on top of it, and there's not much to do about it.
Nodding his head right there, nodding along with the beat. You know, he's excited to get into this game. He's excited to take his advantage where he gets them. And we've seen it so far, you know, as you pointed out, before we went into this game one, his offstage pressure is large, but BWC managing to keep up while we're still on the stage.
Like, for all the bad things that Kirby has, you do still have to respect the up smash, you have to respect the back air. And you had to respect, apparently you can just walk through spin slash, excuse me. And also the fact that down air is a multi-hit, you have to hold shield there.
At 100%.
So, a little bit of match inexperience coming in for Coolkingz, I would say, but need to see if he can sort of learn as we go along as to what he can actually do in response to some of the stuff that BWC is putting out. Right now, like, they're trading blows, but was because it just feels like Coolkingz just isn't respecting the fact that Kirby is a fairly fast character who can hit you multiple times. You need to just get out of his way and try and just reset the situation.
F-throw,
Alright, okay. What's the ledge guard? The bomb is up, the boomerang goes out once, and BWC goes over the top.
Yeah, like I said, when on stage, BWC is doing a great job of keeping up, right? He's really, really pushing his advantage.
Yes.
You know, which is that on stage. But as soon as Coolkingz gets him off stage, you know, it's just so difficult for BWC to keep up, and we see that reflected in the stock count right now.
You can see, like, BWC just fishing for an aerial shield so he can potentially make Coolkingz dropping it again. But, like, that's really the best bet they have of, like, getting a stock here, is that you need Coolkingz to be the one to make the mistake. Goes for an aggressive boomerang where perhaps shouldn't have it. We'll get at least a knock-off stage for it, but once again, he's under speed. He's not there to punch. This could kill, actually. No, Lick's a big boy.
Ooh, not quite killing.
Yeah. It's... Coolkingz is usually pretty good about playing around safe move. I don't think he's not giving BWC the respect that you need to give right now, and he's getting hit maybe more than he should for it.
Good 61% there for BWC.
Yeah.
He certainly is in the advantage right now.
Like, instead of going for like the projectile setup, which like Coolkingz is normally pretty good at, he's trying to play it close and personal. And while Link has the Geneva convention breaking move that isn't there, unfortunately, it doesn't matter when you have to just land it on shield and have to deal with Kirby in air in response.
Okay, so only 10% difference between these two players right now. You know, we're seeing some very tight gameplay between these two. Who is going to be able to crunch out this game?
This is a nice... Oh, that was a tricky setup there from Coolkingz. Yeah, beautiful catch from fair. Hits the bomb, doesn't knock it forward. So BWC into doing the neutral get up. At that point, it's easy for Coolkingz to walk forward and hit him into next Tuesday. And yeah, like Coolkingz at the ledge is possibly one of the most powerful players in the east of England. I wish I was joking. It's terrifying to deal with.
Yeah. He is certainly somebody that we have seen really rise through the ranks recently. You know, he consistently attended tournaments, really grinded, for example, Meltdown weeklies. Now is attending tea time regularly while at university, and you know, I think he has the opportunity to really continue and get into that top, into that top player echelon.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we've seen it done already by his brother Scores. You know, so we know that he has somebody that's very close to him that really knows how to do it, and they're actually going to manually go in and reconnect the Pro Controller.
Yeah, we've had enough of Imz on, so we are boosting. I'm slandering Imz a lot here. All I know is the Pro Controller was like, it was on his slot, so I'm assuming it was him. I don't actually know. Apologies if it isn't actually Imz on. I see you there in the crowd. I don't know if you can hear me.
I'm not sure.
Either way, give a moment to resync the controllers. Yeah,
please. Do you know what? I am more passionate about banning Pro Controllers than I am passionate about banning Steve.
as a Pro Controller user, no.
I just, at every point, as a TO, at every point, a Pro Controller can make things go wrong.
I love it, because at that point, what you get to do is you get to stand up and yell, disconnect your Pro Controllers at full volume, and that's just a really fun thing to do sometimes.
Well, it is. It is and it isn't, right? because, yeah, as a TO, sometimes you just got to be the loudest person in the room. That, you know, sometimes that is just your job, is to be the loudest person in the room. However, you don't always want to be shouting. You know, it's like for our UK watchers, it's like being a scout leader. Right? You know, when you were young and you went to Scouts.
Didn't, but
I
get
go
the
to Scouts?
No.
Okay. Well, when I was young and going to Scouts, one of the things that Scout leaders would do would typically towards the end of your session at the Scouts, and when people were getting a bit rowdy, they would say, I don't come here every week just to shout at you guys, so either we stop mucking around, or we can have some fun. Yeah? And that's how I feel about when I have to call out for the 16th time in this tournament. Please can you remember to disconnect your Pro Controllers. Anyway, moving on
Good
from
tangent,
my TO woes.
Because right now, Coolkingz is the best player in East of England.
He's playing fantastically well.
Yeah, he's got like 3 bombs in a row there. The problem is that, like, oh, that connected. I didn't think it would. Like, Coolkingz knows his bomb recovery is better than I do, ultimately, but
100%. And it's one of the things that he is most known for, right?
The neutral is sort of weird for me, though, in that I've seen him play. He's more than capable of going to the other side of the stage via projectiles. He's just not doing that, and he's suffering for it. Like, this is optimal gameplay right now. Set up some projectiles. Okay, you have to, like, approach a little bit, try and combo off your boomerang, because reverse boomerang is Link's second best move. Like, this is good. This is what you want to be doing. Setting up your zone, hitting some projectiles, just abusing every B button that you have access to, and then, okay, at that point, BWC goes, I'm just going to approach, and because you haven't been hitting too many of them. But it's a good attempt.
100%.
Good
and are we going to see an up throw kill?
No,
that's
a surprise.
No
and then he just blows himself to the other side of the stage.
Because, as you were talking about earlier, Kirby's lack of horizontal movement means that it gives more time for Coolkingz to recover without the pressure of BWC on top of
speed
him.
in a straight line isn't terrible. Like, Kirby has more than enough time to cover the stage by the time you get down to it. Oh, I digress. It was probably just to try and stop BWC just covering him from the landing, as it's now been taken to an even game. What's the ledge trap going to be? Oh, that's a dangerous bomb, but at least the last hit of final can still pop it up, so it's out of blast range. Now Coolkingz has to be able to play the ledge. Beautiful rolling, gets the F-tilt just to set up the reset situation. And with that platform, this is a very nasty situation for Coolkingz to abuse, and he just gets the back hit of boomerang. Yeah. That's why it's the second best move he has access to, because it stops you doing things. As soon as you do things into it, it's just a free combo into a kill. Like, genuinely, the back hit of boomerang covers so many options because you have to shield it. It snuffs out any approach potential you have, and it combos into so many things for Link. It is just such a nice move that operates so well within his toolset that it's just like, why aren't... As soon as the boomerang's come back, he's like, ow, I've lost neutral.
Yeah, fair enough, fair enough. I would like to see BWC adapt a little bit here. I understand that Kirby has limited tools, right? You know, he really does have limited tools.
On the spot. It worked. Yeah. It's the saddest thing.
I don't think there was much that BWC could have done.
What
there,
that
you know.
ending was 6 nairs into hold shield because you bait your opponent into trying to final cutter onto stage, into spin to win. Like that's the long and short of that end sequence for you.
Okay, so that is the end of our commentary block here for Wave B. We've seen some fantastic sets, however we are going to be trying to throw it into the top 32 very, very soon. There's going to be a 15-minute break, so please go grab some popcorn, grab a drink, grab some snacks, and in the meantime we'll make sure that we're keeping you entertained. We're going to make sure that everything that we do here is we're going to bring you great sets, right? We've got so much top talent here. So, okay, unfortunately, Bloom wasn't able to make it. He wasn't able to make it today. He's not feeling the best with the game, but we've still got some really great talent that we've already seen today, right? We've seen Hope, we've seen Scores, we've seen Trilby. All of these different players that are really great. Respect. Let me get my words out of my mouth. Some really, really great talent, and I just want to say a massive shout out to GP right here.